Welcome back, YouTube, for what is the final version of this miner for me. I'm pretty much done with it at this stage. Basically what we ended up doing was, I could never manage to 6-link a shavs, so now we're just running zealotry and discipline in the shavs and not even using the 5-link. I ended up getting a supported by hypothermia and remote mine, placed in addition to mine helmet, giving me a pseudo 6-link. Which was far cheaper than getting myself a 6-link shavs. Damage is really good on Wave of Conviction still. I did manage to kill Uber Elder on it, although it was messy because I'm terrible, and I had to change abilities to do it. Now, I think if you were very good at playing, very good at Uber Elder, you'll be fine with this tiny melee range that you've got from Wave of Conviction. But I ended up changing into Purifying Flame to do Uber Elder successfully. The area on it is a lot bigger, and it scales mostly the same way. The reason I didn't stick with Purifying Flame is because its map clear is terrible. What happens is Purifying Flame targets the closest mob to you in the pack. And even with Sab area, that does not give you really good clear. You just sort of hit the front edge of every pack and that's it. However, when you're in an arena like Uber Elder, you see all this consecrated ground everywhere, the ripples go out the entire path of the consecrated ground. So if you're not moving around a map, if you're just all in the same area, like in an Uber Elder arena, the area is disgustingly large. Disgustingly large, and the damage is still pretty damn good. Whereas our Wave of Conviction goes a lot better for clear, and the damage is a lot better. But the range for proper damage, like we can clear trash with just the one rave, but the range for proper damage is so small. You've got to be just in that little tiny area, and it's just very rough. It's very rough, and if I was quite comfortable with mines and good at the Uber Elder fight, it probably would have gone fine and been better. But I couldn't do it. And so at this point, I'm pretty much done with it. You can see the Purifying Flame has pretty good single target, especially once there's consecrated ground on the pack. The other big drawback of Purifying Flame is the first explosion, even when you've got 4 mines placed, there's this small delay between detonating and consecrated ground hitting. And so you can see, now that there's consecrated ground everywhere, there's a massive wave going out, and the area becomes huge. But the first one shatters everything, and then puts consecrated ground down. So whenever you don't have to move, this is better. Whenever you're in an arena style fight, this is better. But to clear maps with this is just absolutely horrible. It's really bad. I think it would go really well in traps, and I'm a little excited to try a life trap build that's a bit cheaper, maybe later on in the league, like a budget version, but with this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We went low life. We're not actually using the links in our shavs. We've got all the crit, all the conversion. I would be taking that dual socket next, but I am pretty much done with it. I have moved on to making some tricksters. At least 2 of them are in our future this league. I'm really liking the look of trickster, and I will probably vendor the gear that's on this, so I will link the path of building to its current setup so you can see what's going on. And that's about it. All in all, I'm really happy with its damage output, but I'm just not happy with it as a build overall. It's too finicky for me, and it requires too much melee, and trying to juggle being in melee range and planting and detonating mines in an Uber Elder fight is very difficult, so I would go ahead and say not to do this unless you're very comfortable with the mine playstyle already, because this whole V and melee thing is quite difficult to get used to, and it makes the fight a lot harder than it needs to be, but the damage is through the roof if you're doing it right. So it's definitely for a more experienced miner. Right, and that's pretty much it. So I will see you all on stream, which will be starting up pretty damn soon.